Some relationships do not begin with love. They begin with a performance. The compliments feel endless. The attention feels magical. The connection feels cosmic. And it happens fast, almost too fast. Here is the shocking part. The sweetest beginnings can sometimes be the first warning sign. Not because love is dangerous, but because intensity without foundation can be. It can feel like winning the emotional lottery, until the jackpot quietly turns into a debt you never agreed to pay. And most people do not realize what is happening until they are already emotionally invested. So what exactly is happening in those whirlwind beginnings? Why does it feel so real, so powerful, so rare? Love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with affection, praise, gifts, promises, and constant attention very early in a relationship. It feels passionate. It feels unique. It feels like destiny. But instead of growing naturally over time, the relationship explodes into full intensity within days or weeks. Big words, big plans, big emotions, before trust even has time to form. The mystery is how something that feels so good can slowly turn into something that quietly controls you. There is usually a pattern. First comes idealization. You are perfect. You're their soulmate. They say they have never felt this way before. Then comes dependency. They message constantly. They want all your time. You slowly start prioritizing them over friends, hobbies, even your own needs. Finally comes devaluation. The compliments fade. Criticism appears. Attention becomes unpredictable. You begin working harder to get back the affection from the beginning. That emotional roller coaster is not random. Your brain starts chasing the original high, hoping to return to the version of them you first met. What most people do not realize is how this affects the brain. Intense affection releases chemicals linked to bonding and pleasure. You feel connected, safe, excited. When that affection is suddenly reduced or becomes inconsistent, your brain feels withdrawal. Anxiety increases. You overthink small changes. You try harder to win back warmth. This is not weakness. It is biology. The sudden shift from closeness to distance creates confusion, and confusion keeps you hooked. You keep searching for reassurance, replaying early memories, trying to fix something that felt perfect only weeks ago. Imagine this scenario. Someone tells you they love you after 1 week. They talk about moving in together within a month. They insist you are different from everyone else. You feel chosen, special, understood. Now imagine 2 months later. They accuse you of not caring enough. They withdraw affection if you disagree. They say you changed. Suddenly you're apologizing for things you do not understand. You feel guilty for wanting space. You question your memory. That extreme shift is not romance fading. It is control slowly tightening behind emotional intensity. In real life, the consequences can be quiet but powerful. You may drift away from friends because they want all your time. You may stop hobbies to avoid conflict. You may filter your opinions to keep peace. Over time, your confidence weakens. You depend more on their approval. If the relationship ends, the crash can feel devastating. Not just heartbreak, but identity confusion. You wonder how something so intense disappeared so quickly. Because it started beautifully. You may blame yourself for the ending. That self-blame can linger long after the relationship is over. Emotionally and mentally, the impact runs deep. Love bombing can create anxiety, self-doubt, and emotional dependency. You may feel constantly alert, trying to maintain the perfect version of yourself they once adored. Sleep may suffer. Focus may drop. Your nervous system stays on edge, waiting for their next mood shift. Over time, you may ignore red flags just to avoid losing them. Intensity begins to feel normal. Calm stability may even feel boring. That distortion can follow you into future relationships if you do not recognize the pattern and reset your expectations. Prevention begins with pace. Real connection grows steadily. If someone pushes for instant commitment, slow it down. Keep your routines. Stay close to your friends. Maintain your hobbies. Notice consistency over time rather than dramatic gestures. Ask yourself if their actions match their words week after week. Healthy affection feels warm, not overwhelming. It respects space. It welcomes disagreement. If you feel pressured to move faster than you are comfortable with, pay attention to that feeling. Outside perspectives from trusted people can reveal patterns you might not see clearly. There is an important shift in perspective that protects you. Intensity is not proof of depth. Dramatic emotions are not proof of stability. Real love builds through shared experiences, mutual respect, and steady trust. It does not demand immediate devotion. It does not punish boundaries. When you start valuing calm consistency over emotional extremes, your standards change. You stop chasing adrenaline and start choosing alignment. You begin to understand that real safety feels steady, not overwhelming. And that steady feeling is often quieter but far stronger. So the next time someone showers you with endless praise and urgent promises, pause. Ask yourself if this is growing naturally or racing unnaturally. Sweet words are easy to give. Steady actions over time are harder to maintain. If you have ever experienced something that felt magical at first, but later felt confusing or draining, reflect on what changed. Recognizing patterns is powerful. Awareness protects you. And sometimes the sweetest red flag is the one that teaches you what real, healthy love should truly feel like.